Hello and welcome. Today is a virtual card and a Cuppa day, so thank you for joining me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Fiona and also found on Facebook and stuff as Oakville Crafts. And today is a virtual card and a Cuppa day. Well, it's a card and a Cuppa day, and this afternoon is a virtual card and a Cuppa. For those of you who don't know what this is about, twice a month on the first and third Wednesday of the month, there is an event over at Home Grange, usually hosted by me. If I'm not around, then it's hosted by a couple of my team, namely Trisha and Carol, bless them. So today was the first of the events in July, it being the first Wednesday of the month. So yeah, it's quite early on in the month, it's only the 5th today. And then in the afternoon, I normally go live and do a virtual card and a Cuppa, because the kits that we make go to not only the people who go to the in-person event, but a few people actually ordered them as well. So if you're not local, but you do live in the UK and you fancy having a go at joining in, then please do get in touch. And the kits are £5 for both, so that's for the first and the third Wednesday. And then I also asked for a nominal £1 in postage, just to cover part of the cost for posting. So anyway, so today, so Trisha and Carol were over at the Grange Chocolate Cafe, and they took the kits for the month for those of them people who had actually pre-ordered. And the first one for this month actually features the Dainty Delight. Actually, it is, they do call it the Dainty Delight. There was a bit of confusion because before the current annual catalogue, sometimes the name of the dies and the stamp set was not the same. But then Stampin' up to a decision. Actually, it makes more sense to have the dies and the stamp set with the same name. So I'm using the Dainty Delight Dies along with the Dainty Delight stamp set. These were both featured in the mini catalogue that ran from January to May. And then as a bundle, and bundles save you 10%. So if you purchase the stamp set and the dies together, you save 10%. But in the current annual catalogue that went live in May, they're now separate items, and so you can't. Well, you can bundle them in that you can still purchase both items, but there's no saving. Anyway, so this was the kit that was used this morning. When we put the kits together, I just put in a little note to people saying, be careful, because there are some pieces in the kit that are very, very small, and these are the ones that I'm talking about. In fact, everybody only got one of each. I was checking my kit yesterday and realised that I didn't have any in mine, so I just quickly cut mine. So this is the kit, and I'll just talk you through it. So there's always an envelope. Let's face it, you can't send a card without an envelope. We have a thick, basic white base card. So this is a piece of A4 that's been cut in half. So the other piece would have been that side. So it's been cut in half and scored in half. We have a panel of Moody Mauve. We have a panel of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. So those are the main colours that we're using in the card. And then we have some die cuts, and I'll show you the dies in a second, but we have one that is Old Olive, we have a basic white one, we have a little like a daisy in Moody Mauve, another bit in Moody Mauve, and then these this little one here is the centre for that, so that's crushed curry, and then there's this one that's a bit of a, looks like almost like a triangle, that's also in crushed curry, and then there's another piece of Moody Mauve for stamping the sentiment. So that's what the kit's made up of, and I'll show you quickly the stamp set and the dies. So the stamp set, there are 9 well actually there's 9 stamps in the set. They're red rubber, so you get your sheet which you can add your sticker to the back of your stamps if you want to. I haven't gotten around to finishing all mine off. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images, which means there's got to be 4 sentiments. So there's the 4 sentiments. So you'll find that on page 22 of the current annual catalogue. The dies is actually a big die set, so it comes in a square pack rather than the normal pack that would fit inside here. And there are 16 of them, and as I say, they're quite big, these dies. So we have this one, which is the bow, and then we have 4 that coordinate with the images on this in the stamp set. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then we have additional dies. So we have some leaves, so the daisy. This is the little die that cuts out the centres for the flowers. So you can see there's 2 circles and there's 2 like triangular pieces. And then we have some background pieces. So this one and that one. I have to admit I've not played with all of them. So 2 lots of leaves, some flowers, which these actually cut out individual ones. So although it's 4 in a row there, it's actually, when you come to die cut them, it cuts the 4 separate ones. And then these 2 little, well, it's 1 piece. And then also the stem and another flower. So we've used, so in the card we've used this one, in the kit I should say, we've used that one, we've used this one, that one, and that one. So that's what's in the kit. So let's put these to one side so I don't lose them or drop them, as usually is my want. So, right, so those are those to put to one side. I'm going to put my kit to one side so that I don't can lose those pieces. And I'm guessing you kind of want to see the cards that went this morning to the card in a Cuppa. So you can see what the samples were that made. So this was the first one. So this is the Let's Throw Everything at It card. And the dies make really, really pretty scenes and things. So this is the bow. This one here, which I don't know if you can see very well, this bit here. So this is the basic white, but then we've coloured the stems so that those 2 are green. Added the flowers, so this little daisy has the circle one, and this, what looks to be like half a daisy, but it's like a profile, has the triangular one. And then simply stamped Happy Birthday, which I thought it came from the Dainty Delight stamp set, but it doesn't. And I can't remember which one it came from because I'm not at home at the moment. So I don't have that one with me, but hey, what the heck. So anyway, so that's the first one. And then did they? Oh yes, and then this is the tiny little image. And there isn't a die cut for that one. So that was the first card, and then again they put the tiny little image on the inside, so you can see it. So that was the first card. Second card was this one. So the card has been turned on its side, so rather than it being portrait, it's now landscape. So again, we have this time we've got the bow going over the sentiment, and again this piece has been coloured so that you've got the old olive here, and then the white little pet flowers have been left. And again, you can put these flowers anywhere on the bow really if you want to, and the other ones, the smaller ones, can go all over as well. So it's not that we basically just haven't cut everything out. We've just used the ones that we thought would make sense to put together to make the kit. So that is a stamp from a sentiment from the stamp set. And I think we forgot that actually this was going to be a portrait card, a landscape card, because we've stamped this bit as if it was portrait. And yeah, we won't talk about that. And then this was the third one. And again, it's been done as a landscape card. And this time, basically, we've just taken the bow and cut it up into different portions and then just layered them on top of each other so that they look like they're coming out of the corner of the sentiment. We've got the daisy here and there. So those are the 3 cards that went to the event this morning. Photos of these will go up on here on Facebook. So those will go up probably tomorrow actually. So I'm going to bring back in my kit and I need to decide what I'm going to do. Am I going to do portrait or landscape? Well, we've already got 2 landscape ones, so I guess let's do a portrait one just to keep things even. So I've got my envelope because I mustn't forget that I've got to stamp that. So first of all, I'm going to actually burnish my basic white base card just so that I know it's... When I take a photograph of it, it means it will actually lie flat. So there's that. That's very simple. I've got my... So this is Moody Mauve. I love the alliterations that Stampin' Up give to their colours and things. So this is one of the in colours that came in May this year. So this is going to be around for a couple of years now. So because it's the 2023 to 2025 in colour, or one of the 5. Now the big question is, do I want to leave that on there? Put that on there. I guess I could. Now, the $64 million question is, do I want to colour this? The nice thing about using basic white as your base for a die cut is that you can just take a Stampin' blend. I think I'm going to do it and I'll show you. I want olive. I'm going to use the dark one, no, not the light one. So I've got my old olive, got the dark one. You could use the thick tip, which is marked by this thicker line, or you can use the thinner tip. I'm going to use the thinner tip simply because I don't want to colour the whole of this. I only want to colour the stems. So it's really just a question of taking your blend and just colouring the bits that you want it to, like so. So you just have to be careful on those bits. And then once you've done that, you can just simply do the whole of that stem. And this, I'm just using this old olive Stampin' blend just as a colouring tool. I'm not going to be blending any colours. It's such a small area that I don't think it warranted. So that's that's that coloured. Now, because it is a small area, if you don't have a Stampin' blend, but you have the Stampin' Right markers, you can use the thicker end to do this, simply because it's not going to show the sort of streaks, which is what happens when you use a marker rather than a water-based marker rather than an alcohol-based blend. So that's that bit. This piece, as you can see, is whole, and that's going to be my sentiment. I think I'm going to put the sentiment in the middle, and I'll do another technique. So I've got this "thank you for your kindness," but I really only want the thank you. So this is another way of making your stamps go a little bit further. You know what, and I'm actually going to put the sticker on. So I just got that. I need to find the sticker that says "thank you for your kindness," which is this one. So if you've never put the stickers on before, this is my personal preference of doing it. So you would take your sheet, and then the actual stickers have backing on. And you need to remember to remove the backing. That's the big thing. And it comes off in two pieces, like that. And then I simply just take my stamp to that and match up the outline with the outline of the stamp. So everything's shiny here, so I've got a light on, so you can see what I'm doing, but it sometimes means that I can't see what I'm doing. Right, so that's that, and then you just simply peel that off. I've seen people put the sticker onto a block and all sorts of other things, so now this is very sticky, so I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand like that, like this, just so that it removes some of the stickiness. No, I'm not too worried the fact that this is not straight on the block. Maybe I will put it straight on the block. That's that. Now, the question is, does that thank you fit on? And I think it does just. So this could be a good thing, or it could be a bad thing. So if you've got a sentiment that you like, and you like the fonts and everything, but it's got words on it that you don't necessarily want, then the trick is to use a post-it note or some washi tape and simply cover the words that you don't want. This will seem, and it's important to get the whole word, but not get the word that you do want. So it can be a bit fiddly. It's just making sure that the word that you don't want is completely covered, and the word that you do, it's not. I like washi tape for this, because you can sort of tuck it in around things. Because what we're going to do is we're simply going to ink up the stamp with that washi tape on, and then remember to remove it. I want to see how long that K is. It's quite long, actually. Maybe I need to just cut a little hole there, or move it, put that in too. So it can be a little bit fiddly. I want to make sure that I have all of that Y, the K, sorry, not the Y. The Y's okay. Let's see if I could do it this way. That's it. As I said, you want to make sure that you've covered all the bits that you don't want. Which may mean that you're pulling your washi tape into bits, but hey. Right, I think I'm happy with that. So it doesn't look very nice. But it does the trick. So then what we're going to do is we're going to ink up the stamp. Now Blackberry Bliss is notorious for getting everywhere. So doing this, you do need to be careful. So you can see now I've got ink on my words that I want, and then the washi tape is also covered in the ink. So you need to remove those bits of washi tape before you stamp. Put them somewhere that you're not going to put your project in, because you really do not want to get this ink onto your project. So that's that. Close up your ink pad, because as I said, this colour is notorious for getting itself everywhere. Put that back, and then I'm going to stamp. Now I could just simply take this to there, or I could be really brave and go that way. So my thank you is, I want it kind of in the middle, but it's going to have to go close to the top because of the fact that the U is quite a large word, or the Y on it is certainly a large letter. So okay, I'm happy with that. Ordinarily, if I wasn't like that, that U hasn't sort of completed itself. I have obviously managed to get a bit of washi tape on that. You can use your Stampin' Right marker to just fill that little bit in. If you use the fine tip, no one, I mean, you're going to know, but no one else is going to know. So I'm just going to throw this bit of washi tape away before I end up with it. There's Blackberry Bliss all over the place. So I really don't want it on my fingers. Just going to put this in the bin. Right, that's that, hopefully. Go, 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 go. Check my fingers, make sure I haven't got anything on them, because the last thing I need to do is be putting Blackberry Bliss onto like the cards and things like that. So now we've got all these pieces here that we can play with. Let's see, do we want to put something like that? One up here. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put one down there. I'm going to put this up here, like so. And I'm not sure I'm even going to use that one at the moment. I'm just going to put that to one side. Now I could banner this. I could leave it as it is. What I am going to do though is I'm just going to trim off this little bit of stem here because I don't really want it. So I'm just going to take that off. Let's see now. That's better. And these cards you can have so much fun with these dies. You can do so much things. You can even use them for Christmas. There's so many different occasions just by changing your colours that this could cover. Right, okay, so I'm not going to cut that bit in half other than taking that end off. So I need to put some glue on. So you need to be, I keep saying you need to be careful, but it's, these are quite forgiving. You don't need to put lots of glue in lots of places. So just stick to the thicker parts of the branch and the leaves. Just put a little dot on each leaf, then you know it's not going to fall off when you pick the card up. I can have a little bit on. So yeah, just stick to, don't worry about trying to get the glue on these really thin stems. There's really no need to. I had that there, didn't I? And I had this sort of like that. push each of the leaves down and then the nice thing is the glue dries clear. So that's going to go there. This piece is going to go up here. Now I'm going to trim that as well because I don't want it sticking at the bottom of my sentiment. And that was going to go up here, like that. So this is where you can see that it was white. Now this bit you do want to sort of put some glue on that stem. So the trick for that is to, if you put a bit of glue on the back of your hand, and then you can just dab this into it. I'm not going to be too worried about actually putting it on the little flowers because I do want a little bit of movement. So I'm not going to have them sticking down completely. And then you just rub off the glue or go wash your hands. But if I went to wash my hands, you'd be getting up and then I'd have to come back and be making a lot of noise. Right, okay, so I'm going to put this here. Again, a bit of glue on the back of it. Put that on. Like so. I want to put a little bit of glue on the back of the centre of the flower. There we go. So that's that bit done. Like that. Now the question is, do I want to put this on as well? I'm not sure that I do, but I'm also now wondering whether or not I need something extra, or maybe just move that down a bit. You know, I'm going to glue this onto this profile of a daisy, and then I can decide whether or not I want to use it, because at least it'll be complete then. I'm never too sure as to which way round this needs to go. I'm going to use my pointy end of my Take Your Pick tool just to move it. There we go. Maybe not. That's better. And now that that's together, I can just play and see if I want to put this on or not. I'm not sure that I do. Could put it on here. No, I'm going to leave it off. Right, okay, decision made. So we're going to add the sentiment. I'm going to use some dimensionals for that. I don't want the itty bitty ones, I want the big ones. Because I don't really want to be here all day taking up your time. Just sticking dimensionals on. I think I'm going to try and get that central. Try. There we go. Let's see. If I hold it up, then I can see whether or not it is straight. Oh, I do have a glue eraser. If you have a glue eraser, they're great, but you do need to make sure that the glue is dry before you start trying to take it off. And then it'll come off quite easily. Right, so that's that and that. So I'm going to glue those together. I was wondering then, I was thinking maybe my internet was playing up. I was like, no. But I think we're okay. Let's also need to move this out. I didn't realise that the camera was actually higher than I thought. So that's going to get put on there. That's going to get put on the front of the card. Like so. A little bit of glue all the way around. Make sure my card's the right way around too. Do not need to put it on back to front or upside down. That's that. Oops. Maybe not. One of the benefits of using the Tombow, the wet glue, is that you've got a little bit of time to move things around compared to tape. Now, all right, I'm going to add some. Got some Wink of Stella here, so I'm just going to add that to the centre of the flower and my little white flowers, I think. Hopefully you can see that in the light. That's that. And then I need to do the inside, and I need to do the envelope. So, where did I put the stamp set? That's not it. You'd think that I didn't have enough room to be able to lose all these things, but I seem to. I'm going to use this one. I've been asked about these blocks because they don't look like the normal Stampin' Up blocks. They are in fact Stampin' Up blocks. They're ones that came in, this one is one that came in a kit. So if you get if you purchase a card making kit from the kits collection, you will find that there's everything in that kit, including the block that you would need to put your stamps on. So that's why they look slightly different. They're lighter in weight than the normal ones in the catalogue. Work just as well. Alright, I'm going to put that on here. Like so. So that's Moody Mauve. And I'll do one on the inside of the card. Now, ordinarily I would colour in the images. Would not suggest you use Stampin' Blends to colour in these images because it's stamped directly inside the card and the blends will bleed through to the back, and you really don't want people seeing the back of that. So if you are going to colour, then use Stampin' Write markers or pencils, or just don't colour at all. I'm going to leave them as they are. I think that's dried now, so that's okay. So that's my fourth card. That's the fourth card now finished. We can add a little bit more bling to it, which is a bling box. Not there. I've got little boxes all over the place here with various bits and pieces in. I can't see it, so I'm not going to bling it at the moment then. Right, I might bling it before I take a photograph. So that's what that fourth card looks like. So I'll bring back the other cards. Let me just tidy up this space for a second so that there's room to put them all on. Just make sure that I'm putting my Wink of Stella back up the right way. Yes, there is a right way and a wrong way when it comes to putting. So the Wink of Stella, you want to actually store it so that it is vertical. The two ends So you want the end that actually says clear, that's the top, and then the other end is the bottom. So you want it so that you can actually see the clear bit when you come to put it away. And then obviously your blends, those are, why is that stopped? Well, it tells me that I've stopped this, but I haven't. So I'm just going to carry on gabbling along. So these are the other cards. So we've got two portrait, 2 landscape. Couple of things, or a few things to tell you about today quickly. And they're all happening starting 11 o'clock tonight. So the online exclusives are being updated. So there's a whole bunch of new things going into that section of the online store. Bonus days start. So bonus days, for those of you who have been using Stampin' Up stuff for a while, you'll know that occasionally this is something that Stampin' Up introduce, and for every £45 you spend, you get a £4.50 coupon code that can be redeemed next month. So once your order gets to £45, then you are eligible for a coupon code. It gets emailed to you, so do not lose it, just so you know. And if your order's like, if it's a multiple of 45, then like 90, you get 2 codes, and they will be emailed to you direct, unless you are asking me to put an order in for you, in which case it may come to me and I have to send it on to you, but that's not an issue. And then last but not least, clearance racks being updated. So that's all happening at 11 o'clock tonight. The bonus codes and end at the end of the month, and then redeemable in August, but everything else obviously continues until such time as it's out of stock. So clearance rack, things go really quickly, I can tell you that now. So I don't know what's going in there, but I would suggest taking a look ASAP once it goes live, and then do an online order, because by the time I get the order and you've asked me to place it and you've paid me, then it may well be out of stock. Okay, so that's it for today. Those are the 4 cards. Hope you've enjoyed seeing them. Next week is a Stampin' and Creating week, so I will be back here live. In the meantime, this video is going to get uploaded to YouTube, and photos of all the cards will be going up on Facebook. So thank you for watching, and take care. Bye.